Roopa Shankar, a senior studying marketing at the Wharton School, is co-founder of NOMsense Bakery, a business that specializes in handcrafted cookie sandwiches. She's here today to talk about the Nom story and her life as an entrepreneur. Roopa, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So how did your passion for baking start, and how did that evolve into a company?
So I think for us, the coolest thing about now being an entrepreneur at school is that it wasn't forced at all. It was completely natural. So we kind of just, me and the other co-founder, Lena Wong, always had a natural passion for baking. We would spend a lot of our free time on campus kind of just baking, innovating in the kitchen as a de-stressor from everything that was happening on campus. And it got to a certain point where a lot of people that were tasting our products were saying, these are so good, like we would actually pay you to make these for us. And so that was when we kind of took a step back and realized maybe there was something that we could actually do with our baking and converting our natural passion for a for-profit business. And that's kind of how it started. And ever since then, it's been a blast. And it's always been easy to balance because it's been a natural sort of passion hobby for us all along.
So why cookies? You know, that's a really interesting category, and it's also a crowded category, correct?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your product.
Yeah, so when we thought about desserts, we wanted to take something that was classic and then add our own sort of innovative spin on it. We definitely saw that there were a lot of desserts just around Penn's campus overall, but nothing that was really innovative, handcrafted, handmade, and really spoke to a greater brand experience. And that's kind of what we want to do with our cookie sandwich model. So all of our products follow a 4-step process and 4-step model. So we do cookie sandwiches with a nonsensical twist, which is like our tagline and kind of fun slogan that we always use. And we start off with baking 2 cookies, and then we stuff it with some sort of interesting filling. And then we top that with the drizzle and then sprinkle an added topping on top of that. So as a sample flavor, right now we have our take on the classic chocolate chip cookie, and it's called the classic flavor. And it is a snickerdoodle cookie, and then the inside is edible eggless chocolate chip cookie dough. It's topped with a semi-sweet chocolate drizzle, and then topped with toffee crunch. So it's like a little bit more exciting than a standard typical cookie, but it definitely does play into our whole model of innovation and experimenting with different flavors and ingredients, which we didn't really see in the cookie or dessert environment near our campus.
So you're a marketing major, right? So talk to me a little bit about brand ethos.
Yeah.
What is brand ethos, and how did you develop yours?
So I think the main thing for us was, noticing that, the market is super saturated. There's a lot of dessert offerings on campus. The number one thing we wanted to start off with our business was really just understanding what our competitive advantage was going to be. So that was taking a step back, analyzing what the market was offering as a whole, and then seeing what white space we could really use to play into what students would want in a dessert. So brand ethos for us is really just the philosophy that we kind of live by in terms of what do we want to be saying about our brand and how do we want to be communicating that to our end consumer. And that for us was all encapsulated in this word that we call dessert maximalism. So we hear a lot of talks about minimalism now. It's like the new trend. But for us, dessert has always been about more. It's always been about, experiencing rich moments, celebrating indulgent memories, bringing people together over the experience of dessert. And that's kind of what we wanted to wrap up in our brand and our brand ethos today. So we always talk about dessert maximalism, and we're extending it beyond just our product into who we kind of are as a brand. So me and Alina are firm believers in just being super passionate people, always bringing energy and soul to everything that we're doing, and we kind of hope that people that are enjoying our cookie sandwiches are also sort of living that philosophy that our brand is too.
And you're in the Wharton Venture Initiation Program, right?
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about where you hope to take your concept. Where are you going from here?
So that is the ultimate question. Being a student entrepreneur, the number one thing that we think about is sustainability of the business and kind of what we want to do long term in terms of our vision. VIP has been a huge sort of stepping stone for us in terms of realizing the potential of our business. And I think right now, currently we serve as a catering and wholesale bakery business. So we actually are selling to 2 coffee shops. One is Petrus Key Cafe, which is located on Penn's campus near Chestnut Hall. And the other one is Elixir Coffee downtown. So kind of satisfying both the Penn consumer as well as the downtown young urban professional community. And that's been really cool for us, and we love that strategy because we're really tapping into the experience that we want to create around our brand. We really envision people, coming into coffee shops, like sitting down to enjoy a nice warm drink with an interesting dessert and sharing that experience with people. And so in terms of long-term vision for our business, we really hope to be in a lot of cafes and coffee shops in the Philadelphia area, just kind of staying in line with who we are as, a heritage company that was founded in Philadelphia on campus. We actually recently also just hired 8 new people to join our team. So we have previously been a team of just 2, manning all the baking, all the marketing, all the partnerships that we've been developing. But now we have 8 extra people on hand that we're hopefully going to be training them to kind of execute a lot of the campaigns that we're doing with our business now. In the future, we definitely see a storefront, having a NOMsense Bakery store where people can come and enjoy our brand's experience. But those are just long-term goals for now.
So it sounds like the maybe income and revenues that you've been generating throughout, you've been putting back into the business to expand it.
Absolutely. So we are very much still at our growth stage. And me and Alina, our priority right now is really not to make as much money as we can. First and foremost, this is a learning experience for us. And we definitely want to be reinvesting all of our proceeds back into the business so we set ourselves up for long-term success.
The learning experience.
Yep.
I like that. So what are the 3 greatest lessons that you take away from your entrepreneurship journey thus far?
I think the first thing is definitely, if you have an idea, just go ahead and pursue it. I think we're all so young at the stage in our lives where we can afford to take those risky sort of pathways and just learn from every step along the way. I think being at a school like Penn where there's such an amazing culture for entrepreneurship, there really is nothing that should be holding you back from thinking about who you want to work with, potentially getting those ideas down on paper, thinking about a business plan. People on campus are also just so supportive of the business, so always coming to our events, asking us questions about the business, wanting to get involved. We actually had a handful of students our sophomore years, as soon as we started, asking, is there a way that I can get involved? So I think with all those banks of resources around us, it doesn't hurt to start early, and everything, again, is a learning experience. So that's definitely the first one. I think the second one is that a lot of people say the balance is really hard when you're an entrepreneur, but you also have, full-time work on the side if you're a student. But I think that if you are doing something that you truly love, it doesn't feel like work. And that's how you know if your idea is going to be worth it in the long run. So for me, when I'm working on NOMsense Bakery, it doesn't feel like, I have so much other work to be doing right now. It's always like I love it first and foremost, and that's why I know that I found the right space for me. And then the last thing is your team matters a lot. So, starting off, me and my best friend kind of working on this business together, I think that was ultimately the best sort of decision for our business. Starting off small helped us really streamline our decision-making processes, and then allowed us to sort of reach the growth that we've reached now to be able to hire the extra 8 people that I was just mentioning. I think we also both complement each other really well in terms of strengths and weaknesses, and I think that's also one of the key lessons I've learned from being an entrepreneur. She definitely owns the product and the culinary side of things, has a lot of creative ideas with how to bring in new flavors and ingredients and tap into seasonal trends and foodie trends. And then since I'm the one that has a little bit more of the business background, doing a lot of the marketing campaigns and understanding the consumer and developing what our brand's image and communication strategy is going to be. So I think the team aspect is huge. And again, it's going to contribute to an overall just incredible, rich experience.
Excellent. Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
Next time, bring samples. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.